right, so this video is for people who struggle to lose weight, they feel stuck with not seeing results, or they're unsure of what the necessary steps are for effective weight loss. So what are the two things that people necessarily run to when they're trying to lose weight? Eat less and do more physical exercise. Imagine we have an engine, right? There's a busted belt, oil leak, and balding tires. And me and you are gonna go for a ride. I'm like, hey, let's go hit it. We're gonna go on the highway and we're gonna go 100 miles an hour. Do you think that would be a good idea? Okay, so what we're going to address is making your metabolism more efficient at burning calories rather than sending signals to your body so it slows down even more. We're gonna fix the problem internally. So stay tuned with this, okay? All right, so there's a three-part process behind this. First, we gotta calculate, then we've gotta strengthen, then we've gotta melt off the fat. You can't skip over any of these, otherwise it will not work. First is calculate. So you're gonna do two things right here. Record your food using the app and find the average. If you have MyFitnessPal or Chronometer, what you're gonna do, take 3 days, and you're not gonna just start eating cleaner. We need to get an accurate representation of where your metabolism has been at based on your previous food habit. You're gonna record on a day-to-day basis what you have been eating. And there's videos on YouTube that you can watch. It's pretty simple on how you input it on there if you don't have any prior experience. You need to take those 3 days and divide it by 3 to get your average on what you're eating. So we got one number. The second is you're gonna look up on a BMR calculator on Google. You just figure out your maintenance calories based on your physical activity level and based on your weight and age. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's say you calculated and you're at 800 calories, right, on your average. However, your maintenance is 1500 based on the BMR. So now you're under eating from the 1500, but you're not really seeing weight loss. You're gonna categorize where you are. Are you under eating? Are you below the maintenance? Are you at the maintenance? Or are you overeating? We're gonna strengthen now. Let's strengthen that engine up. Let's make it more efficient at burning calories so we can put you in a really good position. So when you lose the weight, you don't have to worry about doing any other diet and regaining the weight back. So if you're under eating, work on eating 100 to 200 more calories per week and adjust depending on your digestion. Do this until you get 300 calories above your maintenance. So for example, if we're at 1500 and we're eating 800, you're gonna add 100 to 200 more. Here's really what separates the fork in the road between the people who are successful with doing this and unsuccessful is fear. A lot of women in particular have a lot of fear, which is understandable for sure that they're gonna get fat by eating more. So what happens is if you're eating 800 and you're not losing weight, we wanna slowly bring this back up to our maintenance. If you just start eating 1500, you can start gaining body fat because of here. So it's a tedious process. We wanna start bringing it up carefully, 100 to 200 calories. Now, notice the people who don't stick with this process end up falling back into the same habits. This is a proven system that has worked for hundreds of people. That last time I checked, anything substantially great in life did not come easy. So you're gonna see some uncomfortability, okay? Just to set some expectations. Man, I'm feeling full. This doesn't feel right. That's normal. You're adding more food, okay? However, do know that this is going to be a temporary emotions and that you will get acclimated and adjusted to that over time. If you were at 1500, you want to get to 1800. You will see some temporary bloating. Let it adjust. Only go up 100 on the next week. And then as your metabolism's picking up, you will become more accustomed to doing it. For if you're at maintenance or overeating, so let's say you're at 1500 whenever you calculated on your maintenance and you're eating 1500 or above. Do the opposite. We want to start replacing meals with higher fiber, higher protein meals to curb your appetite with more frequent, convenient options. Let's go back to the under eating portion. If you're having trouble getting food down, do we want to add more volume or less volume to get our calories in? Less volume. You want to add things that are you can get down easier to bring up your calories, such as nuts, avocados, stuff that is lower in volume for a higher amount of calories. That's healthier option. However, right here, and usually hunger's kicking your ass, we want to start adding higher volume for less calorie meals, such as steak, a grip full of vegetables. Or if you don't like that, that's understandable. Just brown rice, rice cakes, popcorn, anything that's gonna fill your stomach more. All of this strengthening category, we're building consistency. Because if you think you're going to get on some sort of diet and lose weight and you can't be consistent, I love to see success for you. However, we have to be reasonable in the approach that we're taking. And obviously, if you're here for a reason, if something hasn't been working for you. So we want to build consistent habits over time, okay? Let's say you're eating 3 times a day. You could set a goal this week where you make one meal where you're eating a high volume meal and eating 4 times a day. If you're usually tending to see hunger at night, start incorporating that at 5 or an hour before which you usually get hungry so you can curb your appetite, and then have a backup option such as a large bag of popcorn with light butter for a backup emergency. We're just working on the consistency portion and strengthen your gut and your metabolism. Once we've gotten through the calculate and strengthen, we're going to go on to the melt. This is the fat loss portion of the program. So we're going to go into a deficit of, for females, it's 300 below your maintenance, and for males, 500. So make sure that you're eating higher volume food to curb your hunger, just like we talked about. You'll notice, especially when you were under eating before and you've worked your calories up, this might take months to do, is you'll notice whenever you're not eating this amount of calories, you're hungry. That's a really good sign that your metabolism has picked up. And you want to make sure you stay in a 300 or 500 calorie deficit. So as your weight drops, so will your maintenance. So adjust accordingly. So let's say you've lost 10 or 15 pounds, you're just going to slightly bring it down. So one thing that I wanted to cover real quick is if you're under eating and you're still doing cardio, I want you to cut that out completely, because you're going to start signaling to your body to slow down whenever you're adding cardio and when you're under eating. You need to cut the cardio for right now. We can add it on the third phase. Let's take an adjustment example. What you're going to notice through this is of patterns and deeply ingrained habits that you have. So let's say you have a tendency on the weekend to fall off and you're quote unquote throwing away all your progress. I want you to take either your phone or a journal, if you're serious about doing this, and write down whenever you have the triggers so you can learn more about yourself. So what you'll notice is, let's say I have a tendency on Friday and Saturday where I say, screw everything. I'm going out to eat, and then by Sunday, I'm indwelling in a bunch of shame. So what I can do is make sure that I set some reminders that I stay consistent on Thursday. And then when Friday comes, I have already 2 places on Friday and Saturday that I have picked out and pre-planned as far as not only the restaurant, but the meals and the places where I'm going to eat in advance. And when you do that psychologically, you're already rewarding yourself and you won't have a tendency to fall off, and you already have the meals premeditated. Way better, higher success rate when you do that. So if you're still struggling to lose weight, stay consistent, or you find yourself falling back into the same habit and you need some assistance, go to fitnesswithclint.com and apply for coaching, and I'll help you get on track and stay there.